What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fight Pit here at House Call Sports. My name is Sammy HT, and today we're going to be discussing the Jey Uso problem. More on that in a second. And are the Bloodline better without Solo Sikoa? A very Bloodline-packed episode of the Fight Pit. But before we get started, let's go ahead and give you our sponsor for today, and that is, you guessed it, Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats is the most trustworthy and easy to navigate ticketing website. They have reliable and rewarding tickets and 100% buyer's guarantee, which means your transactions will be safe and secure. You will get full service customer care and be compensated for any canceled events, and it's got the only ticket rewards program around. All that means is the WWE live events, they're getting shorter and shorter. You guys read the report earlier today, this is being recorded on Wednesday, that they're going to be cutting down on live events. So get your tickets now while you still can. Also, there's NFL season going on. If you're into the WNBA, that stuff's still going on as well. Go get your tickets now and go sit vividly. Hit the link in our description. Now, Jey Uso. What a talent, right? What a talent. He is about as over as anybody in the company, right? Like, there is no denying him. He gets bigger pops than even the biggest babyface in the entire WWE and Cody Rhodes. And that's saying a lot, right? That's saying a lot. Cody Rhodes, your WWE Undisputed Champion. That's saying a lot. Now, Jey Uso, this past Monday night on Raw, won a fantastic fatal four-way match between Pete Dunne, Ilya Dragunov, and Braun Strowman. Fantastic main event, by the way. Ilya Dragunov did not take the pin. Pete Dunne took the pin. And let me just say this about Jey Uso. I can't stress enough how much he deserves this. The crowd reactions, right? The merch sales being the highest merch seller in the entire company at one point. There is no denying Jey Uso, all right? So why does it feel like they're really feeding him to Braun Breaker here? Because Braun Breaker, who is your Intercontinental Champion, not too long ago won the Intercontinental Championship back at SummerSlam in a little bit more than 5 minutes maybe. He won it in dominating fashion. Let's not forget that. He then beat Sami Zayn in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which, again, a fantastic match, I gotta reiterate. And that was his one and only defense. So now we're over a month in with Braun Breaker as champion. This is about to be his second title defense. I know what you're thinking. The odds of Jey Uso winning this match are slim to none. But he's so over with the crowd. And this is where I bring up the Jey Uso problem. Jey Uso got over in a time where the WWE is all about long-term booking. All about the storyline and staying the path ahead. And unless something completely goes wrong, something comes out of nowhere, they're not going to change plans. This is far removed from the Vince McMahon era where things would just change week to week, day to day. No, Triple H has a plan and he's sticking with it. All it's about nowadays is the execution of that plan, the execution of the booking. Jey Uso is a victim of this. And it's really not Jey Uso's fault. It's really WWE's fault. But at the same time, it's not WWE's fault. Because I don't think WWE really expected Jey Uso to be this over still. And the reality is you have two champions on Monday Night Raw, Gunther and Braun Breaker, who are supposed to be monster heels. The odds of them losing the title in less than 100 days is slim to none. I just don't see it happening. And not that I'm complaining about it, right? We like long title reigns. What made Roman Reigns' title reign so great? How long it was. Now, granted, towards the end of the reign, it started getting a little lackadaisical. But then I turned to Gunther and his 666-day reign. And how entertaining that reign really was. From start to finish. Triple H likes booking champions a good solid reign. Sami Zayn held the title from WrestleMania, which was, I believe, in April, all the way to August. That's a good amount of time as Intercontinental Champion. He wants to keep the prestige there, and part of the prestige is, unfortunately, the title being held long. Jey Uso is about to contend Braun Breaker, whether it's at Bad Blood or the Monday Night Raw before Bad Blood. He's going to fight Braun Breaker. He's going to battle Braun Breaker. And the odds are he's going to lose. So this is another case of Jey Uso, despite how over he really is, he's not going to be given the keys. He's not going to be able to win the big one. And this is not the first time this has happened. We got to remember, Jey Uso lost to Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. It was due to interference, but he lost. He lost to Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. He lost to Roman Reigns for the championship. At this point, it's like Jey Uso's a loser. Now, Braun Breaker is up next. And what are the odds, the way they built up Braun Breaker, for Braun to lose this match against Jey Uso? Slim to none, ladies and gentlemen. Slim to none. Jey Uso might be over. He might be one of the hottest acts in the company right now. And Lord knows he's entertaining, okay? Every Monday night, I look forward to Jey Uso's entrance. Whether he's coming off the ramp or in the crowd. It's an amazing entrance, quite frankly. You guys all saw his entrance at Backlash. One of the greatest entrances ever, in my opinion. In front of one of the greatest crowds. How in the world are they going to repay Jey Uso? And to be honest, I don't know the answer to that question. Are you going to make him a tag team champion? He's been that multiple times. He's a part of one of the greatest tag teams ever. He is. That's not rewarding Jey Uso. You want to reward Jey Uso, you got to give him a singles title reign. But the fact of the matter is, they have put Jey Uso in relatively odd positions, because now he's the first one up to face the Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker, just like he was the first one to face Damian Priest. And to be honest, I can't see a way. I cannot see a way realistically where this year Jey Uso wins a mid-card championship or a World Heavyweight Championship. It has to be in 2025. But even then, you get put into a position of, how in the world are we going to get this guy to win a singles title with guys like Braun Breaker, guys like Gunther? A part of me wishes that this championship match right here was for down the line. And I really do hope that this is for down the line. I hope so. I hope this isn't the first and only time we get Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. Because I do want Jey Uso to win a title. But think about the examples of things like this happening. Jey Uso is not the only culprit, right? Let's make that very clear. Because remember, LA Knight was the hottest act of 2023 at one point. He'd come out, the pops were crazy. They were crazy. They were. And LA Knight would get the audience on their feet. He'd be top in merch sales. He'd get the biggest reactions. And he was not rewarded until this past SummerSlam. Think about that. When did LA Knight start getting over? Summer probably of 2023. Money in the Bank is when he really started to pick it up. Now, credit to Triple H here, and I'll give him credit here. He has tried his hardest to make sure that despite that his most over talents are protected. He has. If you notice, most of LA Knight's losses, most of them are by cheating. Very rarely are they clean. Same thing with Jey Uso. When he gets pinned, very rarely Are they playing fair? There's shenanigans going on when Jey Uso has a match, and he's probably supposed to lose. So he's done a good job there. But the problem is that when are we going to reward him? Right? When? Because Jey Uso's put in the work. He has a good look. Say what you want about Jey Uso. If you don't like his mic skills, that's fine. If you don't like him saying yeet all the time, that's fine. I'll be honest. I do get a little annoyed with it, but damn it, the crowd's into it. The crowd's into it, and you can't teach the crowd. You can't. His wrestling style is good. It's a good wrestling style, right? It's not over the top. It's simplistic, and that's okay. Look, all the all-time greats are not like flipping around and stuff. He's no Will Ospreay by any chance. He's no by any stretch. He's no Ricochet at all. Okay, those guys are phenomenal, and he's not that. However, he's a damn entertaining personality, and he's a good enough wrestler to get by. So now, the question is, when do we reward Jey Uso? And the answer is, I don't know. But it can't be in 2024. What are the odds of Braun Breaker losing the title against Jey Uso? It's slim to none. They are feeding Jey Uso to Braun Breaker. And it sucks. It really does suck. And it's unfortunate that he's been over for almost the entire year at this point. An entire year at this point. And I mean, how are they going to repair? Like, he's over. He's still hot. And it seems like they're very hesitant to pull the trigger. One of my biggest gripes with Triple H's booking is that he doesn't strike when the iron's hot. He doesn't. And it sucks. And it leads to a bigger payoff. But man, I just wish that Jey Uso would get what he deserves, because he has been so over for so long. He's put in the work, right? He's entertaining. He's worked really hard to get to this point as a single star, and quite literally, he's not going to be repaid until maybe SummerSlam. And that's unfortunate. Really, really is unfortunate. Well, we talked about Jey Uso, right? Jey Uso, part of a former member, rather, of the Bloodline. Speaking of the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. I'm recording this Wednesday night. As of yesterday, on Tuesday night NXT, they invaded NXT in the match between Nathan Frazier and Axiom against the Street Profits, in what was a fantastic match up until the DQ. And I gotta say, after watching that entire segment, I don't think I'm the only one who who thinks this. I don't think I'm the only one who really has this opinion, but it's definitely something that I'm going to think about moving forward. This Bloodline is so much better. The Bloodline 2.0 is so much better without Solo Sikoa. They are. And it's not like they talk, right? It's not like they really say anything engaging. These guys are just all about action. They really are. They are. And it's entertaining, that in and of itself. The aggressiveness, the look that they have, the moxie that they have. It's all so much better without Solo Sikoa. And unfortunately for Solo Sikoa, I think it would be best for him to just get out of the group. But we are so deep into this that it's almost like you can't do that. Right? You can't. How could you do it? Almost impossible. Solo Sikoa just does not match the energy of this Bloodline. He doesn't. He doesn't at all. There was a time where I feel like he did. But I don't think he has right now because he's playing a stoic leader, right? A Roman Reigns wannabe, right? And I know you're supposed to hate it, but it's come to the point where it's like there's nothing entertaining about this guy. And it's not really booing Solo Sikoa just because he's, you know, being booed because he's a heel. It's booing Solo Sikoa because it feels like he's doing something. He's being something he's clearly not. And I understand that's the point. But at some point, you got to be like, okay, so he's just going to be a Roman Reigns wannabe the entire time? He's going to say, acknowledge me the entire time? I got to be honest, that does not move me. And when you pair him with guys that are savages, guys like Jacob Fatu, who are aggressive, who are just animals, guys like Tonga Loa, ironically, when you pair him with guys like that, it makes him look not like the weakest. I don't think he's the weakest part of the group, but one of the weakest. I'm more entertained week after week by Jacob Fatu. I'm more entertained week after week by Tama Tonga. I am. Now, Tonga Loa is just a meme at this point, so I don't really want to address him. But fans laugh at him. They think he's unintentionally funny. There's something about Tonga Loa that people like. Solo Sikoa, what's there to really like about him? What is there to really like about him? His mic skills, they're okay. His in-ring work is okay. I mean, what about him screams main eventer? Nothing. And the fact that he main evented SummerSlam was crazy. And up until the Roman Reigns return, I don't think anybody was really enjoying the match. I don't. Up until all the shenanigans started happening, I don't think anybody was really caring about the match. And I'm not going to blame Cody for that. Because I've seen Cody tear the house down. Against AJ Styles, against Logan Paul, most recently against Kevin Owens. And Cody Rhodes can have an amazing match with pretty much everybody. But Solo Sikoa, man. I just don't think that Solo Sikoa is like that. And it's crazy because when you see on social media how the Bloodline without Solo Sikoa are, they're more unhinged, they're more savage, they're animals. And that's something that Solo Sikoa does not bring to the table. He does not match that. He doesn't. He's not even close. So what exactly is the end goal here with Solo Sikoa would be my question. Because at the very least, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa can go on to be a tag team. Jacob Fatu is the star of the group, and nobody is arguing that. He's clearly the star of the group. No questions asked. And Solo Sikoa, even though he's not the worst member of the Bloodline, because Tonga Loa, I know he's a meme, I know he's unintentionally funny, he is the worst member. I gotta be honest, I'm not very entertained by Solo Sikoa. I'm more entertained by Tama Tonga's yeah, whatever he does there. That's actually funny. That's entertaining. It helps that he's good in the ring. And then Jacob Fatu is just a powerhouse. And we know I'm telling you, when he gets on the mic eventually, you will see how good he is. But until then, he's entertaining on his own. I don't know, man. I don't know exactly what they are going to be able to do with this Bloodline. I don't. But the reality is that the reality of the situation is this. Solo Sikoa is going pretty much nowhere fast. He's defending the title this Friday night on SmackDown as of the recording of this video. He's going to lose because They're not going to make Solo Sikoa champ. And from then on, it's like, well, where do we go? I guess it's the Bloodline storyline all over again with Roman Reigns. I guess Jey Uso, I guess. Maybe Jimmy Uso returns, right? But after that, where do we go from here? And that's a sad question to ask, because Solo Sikoa at one point was looked at as one of the most promising prospects in the entire WWE. And they brought him in to be this stoic, savage badass. And now you give him a group to lead, and it's like he is not even a top 3 member. He's barely a top 3 member of that group. Solo Sikoa, for what he did, for what he's done to get heel, he's done a great job. Let's give him his flowers there. But right now, it is looking like the Bloodline benefit more being without Solo Sikoa. If you watch NXT yesterday, you could feel the impact of the Bloodline that I don't think you feel with Solo Sikoa there. Even when Solo Sikoa attacked Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, he put all of them through tables. There was something about last night at NXT that was just so energetic. And maybe it was the crowd, maybe it was the NXT crowd, but let me tell you, it just felt stronger. They looked better. And that's sad. That's sad for Solo, because now where does Solo go from here? Every time Solo walks out with the Bloodline, I feel like he's just out of his depth. He should not be there. And that's crazy. That's crazy, considering he was a part of the original Bloodline. I don't know exactly. Again, I don't know where they're going to go from here, right? He's going to have his title match at Friday Night SmackDown. He's going to lose. And from then on, I would hope that the Bloodline storyline is done with Cody Rhodes, because they got to move on from that. But then I ask, how seriously are we going to take Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns when everybody would rather see Jacob Fatu? Jacob Fatu, man. What a character. What a character. And I'll go on my little spiel about Jacob Fatu for a second. He's been in the WWE for what, 3 months now? 4 months, around there. And he has wowed me. He's wowed everybody in the WWE. When he shows up, you feel it. You feel it. He's that guy. He's the future. No question about it. No question about it. He is hands down the future of the Bloodline. He's the future of the WWE. He's going to be a champion.
Looks like you lost another one.
And he got this group, and it seems like when he came to this group, everybody around him except Solo became better. And I hate to knock on Solo again. Everybody around him except Solo just got better. And I'm glad Cody really tuned into this. He's like, this man deserves the title shot, not you. And he was saying what everybody is thinking. No one wants to see Solo in the title picture anymore. It's sad. It is. But the reality is that no matter what we think, no matter what we're feeling, Triple H is one of those guys where he's going to stick to a plan because he thinks that this is the right thing to do. And a part of me thinks that sucks because, quite frankly, and I'll be blunt here. I'll be very blunt here. I don't think what he's doing with Solo Sikoa is that great. And I'd much rather they pivot to making Jacob Fatu look like the beast that he is. And they have been, but I'm talking about eventually. I think he's got to win gold eventually. And if that means going up against LA Knight and beating him, I do not mind that. And LA Knight's my favorite WWE superstar right now. If he beat LA Knight in a couple months at like Survivor Series, maybe, I wouldn't be mad at that. But the odds are Jacob Fox is probably going to be in some Bloodline stuff, which would be entertaining, I guess, if we get the original Bloodline versus the Bloodline 2.0. But really, we're going to have to see. But all I'm going to say is this before we wrap it up. It's a testament to how great Jacob Fatu is that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa have been looked at as such entertaining characters ever since he got there. And when Solo Sikoa first introduced these two, everybody was kind of just like, what exactly are we doing? But now people are finding Tama Tonga entertaining. Now people are finding Tonga Loa, even though he botches a lot and he messes stuff up a lot. They're finding him unintentionally funny. They're finding him entertaining. But Solo Sikoa, it's different, man. I don't think he should be leading a faction. I don't think that whatever they got planned for him, it's not working. He gets heel heat, that's cool, but again, when he's not associated with Cody Rhodes, what is there to really do? So I would really hope that somewhere down the line, the Bloodline revolt. The Bloodline end up saying, you know what? Forget this, Solo doesn't actually love us, and just turning on him. But the fact is, I feel like it's just too early in the process. They only just got together. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens with the Bloodline down the line. No pun intended. That's going to be it for us here at House Call Sports, here in the Fight Pit segment. We hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms. We love you guys. Thankful. That's going to be it for us. Peace.